One of my favorite bind-offs that's very elastic. It's great for cuffs or toe-up socks or turtlenecks or any edges, is a tubular bind-off, and it's completely seamless. It looks like it's just wrapping around and there's no bind-off. It's not as difficult as people might think it is. It's best on a 1x1 rib, so knit one, purl one. And you want to stop your work 2 rows before your pattern says bind off. You want to stop 2 rows earlier because we need to do we actually need to do 4 rows of setup. And the way you do those rows is you're going to slip your purls with a yarn in front and knit your knit stitches. So just because of my swatch, I start with a purl. I'm going to slip it with a yarn forward and knit my knit stitches. So slip my purl stitches with a yarn forward and knit my knit stitches. And I'm just going to do that all the way across. Now I do realize when you're doing sleeve cuffs or socks, you're not working flat, and the sample is done in the flat, so you would need to do it in the round. What you would do is you would do 1 row like this, and the next row, when you come across the next row, I'm just going to slip it to the other end of my double pointed needle because it will be a realistic example for you. The next row, what you would do is you would purl your purl stitches and slip your knit stitches with a yarn in the back. So I would purl my purl stitches and bring my yarn back and slip my knit stitches. Bring my yarn forward and purl my purl stitches. And I would do 2 rows like that where I knit my knit and slip my purl with a yarn in forward, and then purl my purl and slip my knits with a yarn in the back. And that way you would do four rows in total with those 2 row repeats, and then you'll be ready to do the next part. But if you are, however, working with a flat piece, which is what I am doing now, when you get to the other side, you just turn your work and continue slipping your purl and knitting your knits, and you do that for a total of 4 rows. So I'm back here and I slip my purl and knit my knits. So I'm going to do this for a total of 4 rows, and then I've done my setup and ready to start working on my bind off. Okay, so I have finished my setup where I've done either 4 rows where I slip my purl with a yarn in front and knit my knit stitches, or if I'm working in the round where I slip my purl stitches with a yarn forward and knit my knit on 1 row, and the next row I slip my knit stitches with a yarn in back and purl my purl stitches, and I repeat those 2 rows twice. So once I finish that, I need to find either 2 circular needles or double pointed needles, and I'm going to separate my work. So I'm going to have either 2 circular needles, so imagine this is 1 circular needle and this is another one, or double pointed needles. And basically I'm going to hold 1 needle in the back, which is going to be for my purl stitches, and I'm just going to slip my purl stitches, and 1 needle in the front where I'm going to slip my knit. And I just alternate my purl and my knit, and I just slip them, oops, purlwise. Purl, knit, purl, there. Once I finish separating them, I should have something that looks like this. It opens up in the middle, and I have 2 right side rows. And now I'm just going to Kitchener my stitches. So I cut my working yarn long enough to at least cover the stitches I need to cover, I get a tapestry needle and I Kitchener my stitches. If you're not familiar how to Kitchener, you need to do a setup step, which is you purl the front and you knit the back stitch, and then you're ready to do your Kitchener, which on your front needle you knit, slip, purl, and on your back needle you purl, slip, knit. So front needle, knit, slip, purl, and pull through. On the back needle you purl, slip, knit. You want to pull it snug, but not too snug. Knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit. And you can see the stitches are starting to just go across. Again, knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit, knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit. And then when you get to the end, the last two, it's just knit, slip it off, purl, slip it off, and there you go. And you have a perfectly seamless bind off, and it's super elastic, and it's just, I think, beautiful.